Hi. Today we are back with another story about volcanoes and how the earth kind of moves and shakes around, and also some more practice on what to do when you get stuck on a word. All right? So let's get started. We're first going to talk about, it says danger lurks underground, and this is just one of my favorite words, lurking. Danger lurks underground. So you know it's something to do with kind of being, and it has to do with a place that we are. So that's what, because it's underground, but also a lot of times it has to do with danger. And I just learned that by reading the words around it. And that's a good strategy. Um, Here are some things that I want you to think about. How do you ever, how do you know when something might be dangerous? And have you ever tried to help someone who was in danger? All right. Going back to the word lurks, let's take a look at some of our strategies for how I figured out that word. There's a couple strategies, and one of them is reading on. That's what I just did with the word lurk. Danger lurks underground. We're also going to try the word sinkhole, okay? I'm going to read a little bit about this story right here, and we'll see what we can find out about the word sinkhole. It says Erica and Tim ran to Cole Street. They saw rough, broken pavement where smooth sidewalks had once been. They came to the edge of a huge, steaming sinkhole. The smoke from the hole smelled like rotten eggs. Hmm. All right. Well, there's a couple ways of knowing what the word sinkhole is, even though you probably have never seen that word before. First of all, I can use the illustrations. And illustrations, as you learned in first grade, is just a big, it's a picture. So we look at the picture. Oh yeah, it looks to me like there's a big hole in the ground. It says where the sidewalk had once been, and they came to an edge of a huge steaming sinkhole. There they are right there. Also, there's this one here. You can break it into parts. The word sinkhole looks really, really hard because it's a long, what is that, an 8-letter word? But you can break it up into parts and you see that there's the word sink and then there's the word hole. It says right there's the word sink and there's the word hole. So that's another way of finding out what this is. It's just a big hole that's in the ground that maybe just sunk into the ground a couple moments before. So it's like a hole that just suddenly got there. Which one worked? I would say both of these did. I broke the word into parts and I see the word sink and I see the word hole, and I also used the picture. Okay? So we just did a little bit of practice. We did reading on a lot yesterday. Today we're doing use the illustrations and broke it into parts. We're going to have more practice with these fix-up strategies later on in the week. But for today, could everybody please turn to page 222 in your source book? And we're going to get started reading, okay? It says Danger Lurks Underground by Mike Graff. And there is a nice bigger picture of the sinkhole. Erica and Tim ran to Cole Street. They saw rough, broken pavement where smooth sidewalks had once been. They came to the edge of a huge, steaming sinkhole. The smoke from the hole smelled like rotten eggs. The wheat ground had collapsed. About 50 feet below, the orange bottom burned and crackled like hot coals. Wow. Tim peered through the thick smoke. He saw someone clinging to two tree branches on the side of the collapsing hole. And you could see it right here. There's a tree branch on the side. It's Dad, Tim yelled. Their dad, a fire chief, was trapped in the sinkhole. Watch out, their father cried out. One of the branches snapped off, and their father now hung by only one arm. Dad! Erica screamed. She and Tim crept closer to try and help their dad. No, kids, get back, their father exclaimed. The children backed away, but the ground still felt hot under their feet. Chief Parker slowly crawled his way up the branch of the tree. He wrapped his arms around the trunk. Tim and Erica could hear sirens approaching. Then the ground shook. The tree cracked sharply and began tearing away from the edge. Chief Parker frantically kicked up the dirt wall edge. In one motion, he quickly got to his feet. Chief Parker ran toward Tim and Erica. Then they all watched as the tree tipped slowly over and plunged into the fiery pit. That was a close one, sighed Chief Parker. That was an exciting story. So there was a lot going on in this story, but one of the things I asked you to pay attention to was, how do you know when there's something dangerous going on? Well, I will just tell you that the easiest answer is whenever you see a lot of fire in places you don't normally see fire, then that probably is dangerous. But let's think about something else. They saw rough, broken pavement where smooth sidewalks had once been. That's not good when something that used to be there and has always been there all of a sudden disappears and you don't know why. That could be danger. And here's another one. The smoke from the hole smelled like rotten eggs. For me, whenever there's a really nasty smell going on, I usually think there's something wrong. And finally, burned and crackled like hot coals. Yeah, whenever you see fire, that's pretty dangerous. I bet a lot of us, well, hopefully, you have never seen a sinkhole like this. Um, this smell was really close to what I saw at the top of a volcano, and I told you that a couple days ago on the first lesson. Um, I'm really curious to learn more about this, so maybe we should find out some more about sinkholes. Before we get going today, let's go over a little bit of our activity for today. First of all, we're going to match a word in the first column with its antonym in the second column. The word antonym, I hope you all, I'm pretty sure you have been learning about this in word work with Ms. Becker or Ms. Moore. An antonym is a word that is the opposite. So try and read these words and then find which one is the opposite over here. Which one of these words is the opposite of soft? Young, before, dislike, hard, or happy. Antonym means the opposite. And down here, we have to write the word that's a synonym. And a synonym is the same. Synonym, same. And I always remember because they sound like S. So if you need some help, just remember that the words that are the same as each other is the one that starts with an S. Write a synonym for the underlined word. Use the key to open the door. Use a key to begin, to gift, to glad a door, to shout a door, or to unlock a door. Which one? Yeah. Open and unlock. So that's going to be this page. And then we also have this page down here. What genre is this? It is a fiction story, but there's another genre over here. And I'll give you a hint. It says in the banner on the side of the page, and also it's a type of really exciting story. That's not the word that we use. There's a different type of word we use for the name of this genre, but it kind of means the same as exciting. Is it first person? Did the person telling the story actually see all of the events and was actually in the story? Or is there somebody else telling the story who was not actually there? That would be third person. You could also tell if they say she or he or they did a lot of things, or did I do a lot of things? Did we do a lot of things? Adjectives are super important, and I'm glad we're doing this page today. There are 10 adjectives in here. Adjectives are good ways of describing the things that are happening, a good way of describing the things around you, the people, places, and things. Erica and Tim ran to Cole Street. They saw rough, broken pavement where smooth sidewalks had once been. In that sentence, there are 3 words that describe the pavement that described the sidewalk. I saw rough, broken pavement. What kind of pavement? Where smooth sidewalks had once been. What kind of sidewalk? Find all 10 adjectives. See if you can do it. Okay? Down here, which words in the passage help create excitement? These are a little bit more challenging, but they're good third grade work, and I want you to try them. If it's too hard, you can call on a teacher and we'll go over it with you. But I want you to try some of these activities, okay? And then that's the end of it for today. Have a good day, third grade, all right? And I will see you tomorrow.